Assalamu alaikum, everyone. In a couple of seconds, I will show you something that everyone here would practically die for. Something so important. Something that everybody wants. Something that everybody needs. Would you like me to unveil that something? Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. That A+ at the top of my report card. And it's so true, everything I just said. Most of you here want this A+ really bad. But what's sad is that most of us don't want to do the work that's required to get there. And it's no secret, smart people are not robots with computer chips for brains, if that's what you're thinking. Smart people are just people who aren't lazy. Smart people do a lot of work just to get good grades. Now, once you know what you have to do, anyone can do it. And so, I'm going to inform you on the so-called secrets to getting good grades. Well, it all begins in the classroom, obviously. If you're not even paying attention to what the teacher is saying, how are you supposed to know what the lesson is about? I mean, if the teacher is standing at the front of the room and explaining something, and you're staring at that window at that lovely bird in the tree, and oh my gosh, the bird just fell out of the tree. Well, the bird's not going to help you on the quiz. So it's important that you do not get distracted. Now say you are paying attention. I'm seriously focusing, I know exactly what the teacher is saying, and I completely get it. But then, uh-oh, I didn't write anything down. So when I go home, it's impossible for me to remember everything, especially if what the teacher had said was not in the book. In that case, it's really important that I jot down notes, because I need it for easy reference, and of course I need it to study too. Now, if you do not understand something, you need to ask the teacher immediately. As soon as you don't get something, your hand should skyrocket up, like, immediately. So, let's put this in an example to show its importance. Say, for example, I'm in algebra class, and we have Dr. Qasim as an algebra teacher. And let's say he's teaching us a lesson, and all of a sudden he draws this lovely squiggly line all over the board. And the whole time I'm staring at the board and saying, oh my gosh, I'm so confused. I have no idea what that squiggly line means. And of course I'm not going to ask him because then I'll look like the idiot who doesn't know what a squiggly line means. So I go home and I have to do my homework, and guess what? The homework is covered in squiggly lines. So then I come to class the next day, I failed my homework, and we have a quiz. And guess what? There's squiggly lines on the quiz too. The squiggly lines just keep following me. So, but you could see all of that failure could have been saved if I had simply just asked him what the squiggly line meant. So it is really important. Now after that long day of school, you're going to think, oh, I don't need to study. I've already worked so hard today. But no, you need to study to get good grades. And you have to study a certain way, too. Remember that reading is not studying. You can read it 10 times if you want, but unless you're actively reading, like Dr. Ahmed tells us to, you're not going to get anything out of it. So take notes, make flashcards. If you're actively participating in your reading, it's a lot harder to start daydreaming or dozing off. Another thing, put yourself in your work. Don't sit on it or anything. Just express your creativity and your hardworking efforts through your work. It tells what kind of person you are. Are you hardworking or are you lazy? And the teacher is going to see that and grade you on that. So, never cut yourself some slack. You can always do better. And do not procrastinate. If you barely have time to do your work, you're going to end up sacrificing on quality. Now this one I find really important. Don't compete with others. Just compete with yourself. Isn't it really annoying when people ask you, so what are you going to do? Or what did you get? And they only do something if you're doing it, or they only feel good if they did better than you on something, and you feel like screaming at them that whole time, and you're saying, why do you care about my grades or my extracurricular activities? Just compete with yourself. By worrying about me, you're hurting yourself. Everyone has a different interest and a different way of studying, so focus on how you can beat your score, not mine. Okay, so now that I have given you all those secrets, let's go back and review. In your notes, you should have written down that in order to get good grades, you need to pay attention to the teacher, jot down notes in class, ask if you don't understand something. Go home and actively study, put forth your best effort, don't procrastinate, and compete only with yourselves. If you have all of these points in your notes, then you're really good note takers, and I give you an A+.